So, I want you to picture someone in your office. This new coworker, they work 24/7, they never ever take a coffee break, and they might be making some pretty big decisions without you even realizing it. We're talking about artificial intelligence, of course. And trust me, it's already a way bigger part of your job than you probably think. So, is your coworker a robot? It kind of sounds like a joke, but it's a serious question. Because whether you know it or not, you are almost certainly already working with AI. It's right there in your calendar, figuring out meeting times. It's in your inbox, filtering your emails. It might even be the one analyzing the data for your team's next huge project. Okay, so let's try to shift how we think about this. AI isn't just some program you open on your computer anymore. It's really becoming a new kind of coworker. It's this invisible force, and it's quietly reshaping how we work, how we communicate, the whole nine yards. What makes this new coworker so unbelievably different is its just relentless efficiency. It is always on, it is always processing, and it's always ready for whatever you throw at it next. And that's where its incredible power comes from. But as we're about to see, that also creates some really unique challenges. So what's this new colleague actually hired to do, right? Like, what does its job description even look like? Let's break down its main responsibilities in a typical modern office. It really all boils down to three main things. First, it's an absolute master of administrative tasks. All the scheduling and filing and busy work that just eats up our days. Second, it's out there on the front lines, giving customers instant, really helpful support. And finally, and this is the big one, it's becoming a crucial advisor in the boardroom, helping to inform those huge strategic decisions that can make or break a company. So that covers the what. Now let's get into the how. What are the actual tools AI is using to get all this stuff done? You might be pretty surprised how many of these you're already interacting with, probably every single day. First up, the bread and butter of office life, scheduling and communication. I mean, this is where AI has made some of its most obvious and, frankly, most helpful contributions, just by streamlining all the little things that keep a workplace from falling apart. Just think about it for a second. Have you ever used one of those tools that magically finds a meeting time that works for 10 super busy people? Or have you noticed how your email inbox just knows what's important and what's junk? How about real-time translation on a video call, or getting an instant transcript right after? Yep, that's all AI, working as the ultimate virtual assistant. But look, it's not just about sorting emails and scheduling meetings. Where AI gets really, really powerful is in its ability to see things that we humans just can't. These hidden patterns and insights buried in massive, massive amounts of data. This is where AI basically becomes a business strategist. I mean, imagine it sifting through years of sales data to spot a trend that no human analyst ever caught, or poring over thousands of customer reviews to pinpoint exactly what people are complaining about. It can even help predict where the market is headed. At the end of the day, it's all about making smarter, data-driven decisions. Okay, so far, so good, right? More efficiency, better insights. What's not to love? Well, this is where things take a pretty sharp turn, because with all of this power comes a whole ethical minefield of really complex questions that we absolutely cannot afford to ignore. And this slide right here really lays out the two sides of the coin, doesn't it? On one hand, you have the incredible promise of peak efficiency, total objectivity from data, and just enhanced productivity all around. But on the other side, you've got the hidden dangers, huge data privacy risks, a lack of transparency, and the really concerning issue of algorithmic bias. So what in the world is algorithmic bias? Well, it's basically when an AI, which was trained on our own historical data, ends up learning our own human biases and then just repeats them over and over. So for example, if a company mostly hired men for a certain job in the past, an AI trained on that data might actually learn to penalize resumes with female-sounding names. Look, the AI isn't trying to be malicious, but its impact can be absolutely devastating. And bias is really just one piece of this puzzle. There are two other major ethical hurdles we have to deal with. First, there's data privacy. I mean, how do we protect all that sensitive employee and customer information? And second, there's responsible implementation. How do we make sure there's always a human in the loop, that someone is always accountable? So all of this brings us to the most important question of all. Where do we go from here? It's not about hitting the brakes on technology, but it is about building a more responsible partnership with these new AI coworkers of ours. This quote really gets to the absolute heart of it. AI is brilliant at turning mountains of raw data into organized information. That's the first step. But that second step, turning that information into true insight, into wisdom, well, that still requires a human. It requires our judgment, our ethics, and our sense of purpose. So in the end, it all comes down to this. AI isn't inherently good or bad. It's just an incredibly powerful tool. The responsibility for how it shapes our jobs, our companies, and our world, it doesn't lie with the algorithm. It lies with us. The real question isn't what will AI do? It's what will we choose to do with it?